Ladies and gentlemen, it's time! Brought to you by Ringside, the best in boxing. It's the Zapata Brand Boxing Podcast. Introducing first, fighting out of the Zapata Brand Studio in Berwick, Pennsylvania. He is an expert in boxing and bagels, George Zapata!
And believe it or not, that was the great Bruce Buffer doing our new intro at
Yes.
the Zapata Brand Boxing Podcast.
Sounded real good too.
Yes, guys, welcome to the show. Coach Diz, how are you?
Pretty good. Another boxing and bagels day.
Another boxing and bagels day for us as well, for sure. Not a great weekend or weekend of fights. I don't think there's anything much going on. The next couple days there will be a couple going on.
Yeah. I know next week at UFC 300. So
UFC 300. Then after that, we have Ryan Garcia, Devin Haney. But let's do a little recap here for what's going on quickly. April 27, 2024, Berwick High School main event, George Zapata versus Sean McFadden. Undercard would be Mackenzie Mazer versus Jenny Boberick, Aubrey Scavone versus Ashley Miller. Action-packed, loaded card with everyone from Berwick. And get your tickets
sold out
now.
yet?
It's not sold out. But I
getting
know
close.
I know he's adding an additional row of ringside seats.
Ooh.
Yeah, because
Okay.
it's those are all just about gone.
Okay.
So he's adding additional row for ringside seats. The show is pretty packed. It's a jam-packed. That's all I could say.
Okay.
The whole show. It's great card. Great card. So let's go a little bit as we go forward in the world of boxing. We did not talk about the Tim Tszyu fight.
Yes, we did.
Oh, we did?
Yes. Last week.
Oh, yeah. You weren't here last
Yes, I
week.
was. That's what I'm saying. It's like a weekly thing now.
Holy cow. I didn't remember you being here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's getting down almost a couple about Tuesday before Devin Haney, Ryan Garcia.
Devin Haney.
Are you still on Garcia's not gonna
No.
you still
I
think
think-
something's
no.
gonna happen?
No, I think Ryan Garcia is going to fight. I was going to go to the fight,
Yeah.
but I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure if he was going to show up, but now I'm pretty confident he will show up. But now I've already made arrangements. I can't go.
Okay.
So, which I think that actually hurts the promotion, because if someone like me wasn't going, I'm just someone who
True.
I can't get there.
True.
Well, now look,
Mhm.
now plus the prices are sky
What
high.
are they? What are they going for the prices for tickets?
I'll tell you what. I bet you they're in the $150 range.
And that's a nosebleed, right?
That's be nosebleed. Yeah. I can go
Then
quickly.
if you go out there, you got to spend for the hotel. That's about 300.
Yeah, 300 a night there.
Then probably the bridge. That's twice. You got to pay.
Yep.
It's going to be probably close to $1,000 a night.
and that's for one person.
Yeah.
So let's real quickly. I can go to SeatGeek.com,
Yeah.
which is
see
what I
that-
use.
Yeah.
And you know what? I saw a lot of the seats though were a lot of the seats that were on there were all of a sudden coming back online.
Oh, that's not
Yeah.
a good thing.
No. So so it'd be Garcia versus Haney. There it is.
Let's see.
There is they start at 175.
Wow, there's a lot of seats available.
And there's 5,135 is the max. $5,000 you're looking at. Well, there's one here. There's one seat to $6,000. See that?
Wow.
It's a one seat. That's it. 4,000, 7,000,
I mean, like,
9,000. It's a
I'm telling you,
$10,000
it's
seat.
better. It's better just watching it on TV.
Well, we're going to be doing it. It's better if you go to ppv.com.
Yeah.
You don't have to get the subscription. You just get this thing and you get the live chat. You got Dan and Chris are in there. Chris Algeria and Dan, I forget his partner Dan's name. You're going to get Jim Lampley and Lance Pugmire.
Okay.
They're in there now. Kevin Ellis will be covering something else that week. I
Okay.
don't think he'll be doing it. But why would you want to buy a $200 subscription when you get the problem with the Haney card? Also, the undercard's junk. The undercard's junk. So they're not putting on the cards like UFC does, where they have you top to bottom good cards. The stuff that Don King used to do back in the 90s. You got to start putting these. And I don't think. I mean, I could probably scroll through the undercard. I don't think. I mean,
Do you know maybe like 4 or 5 people?
I know Barboza
was
fighting,
of course.
but I mean, he was on just because I think they wanted to make sure
replacement, right?
As a replacement, if nothing happened. A full Haney versus Garcia card.
I mean, that's just
that's
crazy.
too expensive to
$1,000 per person.
Yeah.
I mean, if I was going to do anything, I would. If I had to see a sports card like that, I would probably just go to a UFC one because their shows are so much better.
Yeah, no, it's way. All right, here's the undercard. They're talking it up like it's a good undercard. It's not. Barbosa versus McComb.
Okay,
it's a 10-round super lightweight bout, but that we know Barbosa. Bedimir, this Russian guy, they're doing that because it's in New York.
Okay.
Versus Pierre Decombe. That's not 10-round middleweight. That's not anything. John Ramirez versus David Jimenez.
Okay.
Charles Cornwell versus Nathan Gilmore. No one here is lighting the world on fire, and you need something underneath because if those tickets aren't selling, you saw that screenshot.
Yeah.
Man, there's a lot of tickets left. This is not
a lot
sold
of
out.
Green in that little stadium.
It's not sold out,
no.
And that's a big problem.
Yeah,
a really big problem.
Mm-hmm.
So, is that going to mean that this is going to be a dud of a show? No, I think as long as it lasts, because I do think Devin Haney's going to stop him. It'll be an interesting fight. I still think there's mental issues there.
Yeah,
but whether it happens or not,
I don't know.
I think it's a good foregone conclusion that it's going to happen.
Some of the things that I'm just like, Ryan, what are you talking about? Like, because there was an earthquake in the tri-state area.
Oh, did he go on Twitter?
Yes. And he said there's going to be more earthquakes in LA and some other place. And he's like, he knows that it's going to happen. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, Ryan, come on.
Kind of weird.
I thought you were going to stay off social media, he said.
Yeah, you know what's kind of weird though, when I was thinking about it? Wouldn't it be something if like there was a massive earthquake or something and it kind of distracted everybody? That's all the bull crap that's going on right now in this country.
Yep.
I mean, I'm thinking about that. I'm like, man, what would happen if something like this happened?
They need something major.
Something major happened, like, not the greatest.
I mean, because we only got a couple more months.
It's going to be a wild couple months, and in the summer, it's going to be crazy.
Yeah.
Now, I can't wait to the summer comes. It's going to be funny because I stay out of it.
Uh-huh.
I stay out of it. It's pretty funny, but I stay out of it. A real quick shout out to our sponsors.
Oh yeah.
ringside.com/podcast. Go there, get 40% off selected brands. I've been telling everybody that's coming onto the show, the amateurs that are coming on as guests, go there, get your equipment there. They sent me my trunks.
That's what I was going to say. The trunks look pretty good with the logo and stuff.
Ready to go. ringside.com/podcast. 40% off selected brands. Go there and get them. Support our sponsors. They support us and keep us going here. We'll get us those great guests that we have on.
Okay.
So what's been happening? Give me some ideas of what's happening. You got some questions that came through.
Yeah, I got some questions that came through. Let me just go look real quick because it's going to be on for you. The one trivia I have that's here, and I want to see if you can get it. All right.
Good.
Lennox Lewis was defeated by Nassim Rahman in 2001. What was the excuse Emmanuel Stewart gave that he lost the fight?
Was it because the helmet he wore to the ring, or no, that was somebody else?
That was Deontay
Wilder.
I mean, you know it. I think.
Was it jet lag?
No, it was not.
What was the excuse?
He was filming Ocean's.
Oh
11.
yes, Ocean's 11. I didn't expect that from Manny if he said that.
I know.
Maybe he was more of like he was pissed that he did that show and didn't do and it wasn't.
Yeah, that was the lights.
I remember the big bet. That,
I mean, he looked heavy in that fight too.
Yeah, well, Lewis tended to get a little heavy between fights, but I remember a friend of mine won big money on that fight. I told him, I said, you know who he is?
Yep.
I said, Lennox Lewis, I think he's gonna get knocked out, and sure enough, knocked out because he doesn't have that. He didn't have that discipline at that time.
No, but he did.
I don't think so. And that was his second fight with Manny back, I think. with Manny Stewart. I think it was his second fight.
Okay.
He won the belt back, and then I think he fought Rockman. If I'm not mistaken. If I'm not mistaken, that's how it went. I'm not
Were you
sure.
Were you a big Rockman fan?
I liked Rockman,
Okay.
but I thought he was. I thought he just was a guy who, when he get caught, he'd be out of it. But he was always dangerous. Good puncher, dangerous fighter, really dangerous fighter.
He was actually a good sparring partner for a couple fighters.
Great sparring partner. But he just didn't have the it factor.
Mm-hmm.
And let's go back. George Djokovic was doing a live on his channel, One Round with George, and he was doing all the 24/7s.
Ooh.
And when you do those,
so he was reviewing 24/7. That's pretty cool.
That's the stuff that we miss because you got invested in those fighters, the Hasim, because I wouldn't know who the hell Hasim Rahman was if I didn't know, if I didn't get his backstory and what have you. I'm gonna quickly look at his boxing rec here for Lennox
So
Lewis.
George did a lot of those production, right?
Yeah, he was lead producer on a lot of them.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, he did.
What was his favorite one? Did he say?
Yeah, he said his favorite one. I think he said his favorite one. His favorite one that he worked on.
Yeah.
Was Tim Bradley and Pacquiao.
Okay.
His favorite one that he did was Cotto versus Mayorga. Cotto versus.
It was Mayorga. No.
Margarito.
Yes.
Mayorga. Cotto versus Mayorga. So right before he got knocked out. No, it was a while before he got knocked out. So maybe that was the fact that he started getting a little sloppy.
Okay.
Because he beats Oliver. He loses his belt to Oliver McCall.
Okay.
Okay.
That was, I don't know. That was weird. That fight.
That was weird. That was really weird. He loses his belt to Oliver McCall. He fights Lionel Butler.
Okay.
Justin Fortune.
Okay.
Tommy Morrison. Ray Mercer.
Did he knock out Tommy Morrison?
Yeah, knocked him out in 10, I think. No, 6.
Wow. Okay.
Ray Mercer, Oliver McCall, Henry Akawande, Andrew Galata, Shannon Briggs, Maverick. I remember that guy who had a mohawk.
Okay.
Then he had a split decision draw, but which he won.
He won that fight. What was did they talk about that?
What's that?
With Holyfield? I mean, what was the whole thing with that, with the draw?
It's corrupt boxing.
Mm-hmm.
That's all it was.
Okay.
It was getting who?
That was a crazy fight because Holyfield got his tail beat.
Oh, he got beat up pretty good. Then he really, here's where he started reeling off some good ones.
Okay, go ahead.
He beats Holyfield unanimous decision.
Okay.
Then he destroys Michael Grant. Remember that fight?
Yes.
They had the Twin Towers, and it was him and Michael Grant. I think it was in the Garden, as a matter of fact. Then he blasted out Francois Botha in 2 rounds. Remember he did like a jump when he got knocked out. Yeah. Then he beat the daylights out of David Tua unanimous decision, which I thought he was going to lose. Then he loses loses by knockout.
Okay.
That's when he lost to Hasim Rahman.
So he was winning a little bit. So he got a little comfortable.
I think he reeled off because if you think about it, after he lost the belt,
okay,
to McCall, he strung off 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'm giving him the Holyfield fight 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 straight before he gets KO'd by McCall, Rahman. So,
and if he would have just won that would have been what? 20 in a row, maybe?
Well, easily, because he'd go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 19.
Wow.
It would be strong. His career would have finished with 19 straight defenses.
He could talk about a good career, huh? Jeez.
Wow.
Yeah.
Look at all these. He had a hell of a career.
Yeah.
He had
underrated, I think.
Underrated. I mean, look at all these people he's knocking out.
What round did he lose to McCall in?
For second.
Okay.
I remember it was Halloween night. Was it Halloween night? No. That was when he knocked out Razor Ruddock.
Okay.
I remember because it's great because Halloween night was on a Friday.
Okay.
He's fighting Ruddock, and it was in London.
Okay. So
it was really cool because we were supposed to go out trick or treating, and we didn't go. And I was like, I want to watch this fight. I want to watch this fight. And I was shocked because I thought Donovan Ruddock was just coming off of beating Tyson or going 12 with Tyson. So I thought for sure that was going to be a good fight, but that turned out to be a disaster of a fight.
All right, let me go look at another one that they sent.
Give me a couple more.
Okay, let's see. Can you share some of your memorable stories or experience in the boxing?
In boxing, did they ask for professional or amateur?
Both.
Both. Okay.
I will give you one of my 2 memorable experience. One, I remember where I was when Tyson got knocked out.
Yep.
We were at Berkeley. We were at Berkeley
Ave. Yep.
And I remember we went screaming outside. We were just like, "Whoa, what
just happened?"
And then another one will probably be your fight a couple years ago. That was pretty. That was pretty good, memorable. That was memorable.
Yeah, tearing my quad in the first round. Very memorable for me. Anyway,
I mean, there was other ones like the amateurs when we were in Patterson.
Nope, we were in West Orange.
Oh, West Orange. Okay. And the guy
got knocked through the ropes and around. How he it was like a merry-go-round. He like went out the ropes and back underneath the ropes. And then they were calling for a rematch.
Yeah.
And the guy in front of me is like, rematch?
That was classic.
What rematch do you want? I mean, he was scared, I think. That guy was scared when he got in there. He was throwing that was one of the worst technique I've ever seen as an amateur ever. And and that was in the Golden Gloves.
Yeah,
that was in the gold. So how that guy made it to the next round, I have no idea.
He must have been the guys must have been disqualified,
or maybe the kid got a bye. I don't know, but he got punched so hard he went through the ropes and around. And I got a story about that. I got a couple stories with the amateurs. We had a kid in the Hackensack PAL who was like, he must have been 8-0, knocking out everybody heavyweight. His uncle used to come into the bagel shop every morning, and he was like, "You see my son? You see my nephew? You see my nephew?" And Joe would be like, "Yeah, George is telling me about him. He's telling me about him." And the kid was good. I mean, he was one of these guys.
Do you remember his name?
Yes, Charlie Green.
Okay,
his name is Charlie Green. Hold on, I just knocked off this thing here. We don't want to do that. Is that right? Yeah. His name is Charlie Green.
Okay,
and he was unbelievable. He was knocking out everybody. I mean, knocking out everybody. Heavyweight, big guy. So we go to the Golden Gloves. This is his second to last fight in the Golden Gloves. If he wins this, he goes to the finals. And this is in New Jersey. Tough tournament. He's sitting in the locker room. He's getting his hands wrapped, and he said, "Hey, this guy's from Dukers." And I'm like, "Oh, okay." I said, "You're knocking everybody out." He says, "Okay, no problem." And so we go in.
So when he said that,
I just
did you see the body language change on?
I really didn't pay attention.
Okay.
Honestly, didn't. I was just like, okay, no problem. And I just continued to wrap his hands.
Okay.
I'm like, okay, yeah, no problem. I'm not really paying attention to him because I'm more worried about making sure. In the Golden Gloves, they're very strict with the tape, so I'm making sure I'm on point. And the knuckles are back an inch. I'm just doing my thing.
Okay.
And then I could see him. He's kind of weird looking. I didn't know what was happening to him because I never seen him like this before, ever. He comes out. The guy is a taller guy, but nothing. No, this guy was jacked.
Okay.
Our guy, his name was Terry Good, Goode. Okay. Jacked. This guy was jacked, and you always knew when he hit the bags because there was a pile of sweat around there.
Okay.
Hard worker, and he goes in, gets in. He gets in the ring. The other guy gets in the ring. And this guy's a tall guy, but just thin. Reminded me of Deontay Wilder. But our guy's jacked. The guy who was with me was an older guy. So he turned around first and starts walking down, to get ready. As they're making the introduction to getting ready in the middle. He comes back to the corner. First round, I put the mouthpiece in his mouth. Okay. I go there. I said, all right, I'll see you in 2 minutes. I turn around. Start walking down, and I hear boom. He got knocked out.
Wow.
Hit broken orbital bone,
Ooh.
broken nose,
Ooh.
face down. And when I look back, you ever see when fighters like can't get up and their arms keep going under? He was trying to get up.
He was
and
out.
I'm like,
basically.
What just happened? And I mean, he was out cold.
Wow.
Out cold. That was the second worst knockout I've ever seen. As far as in front of an amateur.
That's what I was going to say.
I mean, he was out cold. And I just never, and again, I was 16, help was 17. I was helping him at 17. Yeah, it had to be 17 because I was here when I was 18.
Yeah.
I was shocked. I've never seen anyone at that time get knocked out like that, ever. And I was like mortified.
Wow.
I was like, holy cow, this is a rough sport. Second time, I'll give you another instance in the amateurs.
Now, was that it?
That was was it. Yeah. I saw his nephew, his uncle came into the bagel shop the next day. Goes, That was bad. And it was really bad. It
well,
was
at least
definitely really bad.
when he won, he said, and when he lost, he said stuff to you.
Oh, it was bad. It was really bad.
Wow.
That was one of the worst knockouts I've ever seen. The other one with that knockouts amateur, we had a guy here who fought David Hamilton. David Hamilton's a trainer in the Allentown area here.
Mm-hmm.
He got knocked out. Our guy got knocked out so bad. He came back to the corner and had his hands up and still thought the fight was going on. And the doctor was saying, hey, put your hands down. The fight's over.
Oh, wow.
Fight's over. Yeah, that was a bad one. That was a bad one. I still see that kid every now and then. I'll see him. That was a vicious knockout. I saw that. As far as pros go, the most memorable I saw was right here up in the Poconos. Believe it or not, my bachelor party was a front row seat to the Fernwood Casino with Eddie Walker.
Oh,
yep. Me and Eddie. Eddie took me up there for the late great Eddie Walker. Took me up there for my bachelor party.
What'd you see?
The main event was Jesse Feliciano versus the guy Freddie Cadena.
Oh, okay.
And Freddie Cadena was from Patterson. He was about 21-0 at the time. Jesse Feliciano went on after this fight to fight Kermit Cintron on HBO. Freddie and him, it was close, like for the first 2 or 3 rounds. But Jesse was a big guy. Started really working him. Anyway, he gets knocked out, gets stopped.
Okay.
They put him on the stool. And
I think I know.
What are you saying?
Go ahead.
No, this ain't funny. This is the guy who died in the ring.
Oh, okay. I thought you were gonna say
that was Malik Scott. I gotta take that one out. Malik Scott. Okay.
All right.
Okay. No, that's not funny.
No. Okay. I thought it was
all of a sudden starts shaking. And I see Buddy McGirt going, "Hey, ref, help!"
Now,
help.
Buddy was in his.
Buddy was Freddie's trainer.
Okay.
He goes sliding down his seat, and then he went down. And I just remember the doctor, diving under the ropes.
Oh, geez.
And stick this thing down his throat. Like,
oh, you were talking to who? Are you talking to about this? Was that no, you weren't.
Buddy McGirt. I was just talking to about that not long ago.
Okay.
And he stuck it right down his throat. And I always remember the commissioner, state athletic commissioner, Greg Serb, had his fingers crossed. And he was just sitting like this. And he was just shaking. He did survive. He did survive. But he had some sort. And Freddie's doing very well now, actually. But he did do a time in prison. Like, he was all messed up.
Okay.
And he ended up killing somebody.
Ooh.
DJ at a club. I remember that.
Wow.
But from what Buddy tells me, he's doing okay now. He's doing great. So I think mentally that just happened.
Wow.
And unfortunately, his career was over after that. Obviously, he never came back. And I think he did come back. Matter of fact, I could look it up. And I'm not. You know what? I think he may have come back to fight.
Oh,
I mean, let me find out. Let me find out.
To be like, how would you? Ooh, that would be a tough. I would never to come back.
Maybe he didn't have much.
I mean, even still, the spar, that would be hard to do every day.
That's what kills everybody.
Yeah,
It's the
wars in the ring. It's the wars in the gym.
No, it was he lost there. It was 2004. He lost to Jesse Feliciano. He was KO'd in round 6, and that was the main event. I remember that. That was, I can tell you, Fernwood Casino. Let's see, am I right? Yep, Bushkill.
Oof.
Right there. Yeah, I remember that. That was 2004 or no, 2003. Holy cow! January, February, March, April. That's almost to the day. 4-4.
Oh, jeez.
Almost to the day.
Wow.
Yeah. So you're looking.
Got another question.
Yeah, good.
So with amateurs.
Yep.
Who do you think had the best amateur as a United States person?
That'd be Mark Breland. Pretty easy on that one. Mark Breland, who was incredible.
How many times did he win Golden Gloves?
He won it, I believe, 3 times or 4. But he only lost 1 time.
He was unbelievable.
Yep. He only lost 1 time as an amateur, and I think he lost to a Cuban guy, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see, Mark Breland.
I'm surprised his professional career didn't do as good as. I mean, it was okay, but it was.
He was more of conducive to.
I mean, what did he have?
110 wins and 1 loss.
Jeez, that's crazy. I mean, if you want to go European and everything, Lomachenko is probably the right
overall because of the gold medals. Yeah. I mean, I think he would be the one. But as far as United States, Mark Breland, he only 110 and 1. There's no one's gonna. Nobody will do that anymore.
I don't think
Nobody.
they fight as much anymore.
They can't. There's not enough money. You got to jump into the pros. I saw a guy who only had about 15, 10 pro amateur fights, and he jumped right in. You know, that's not even
Wilder, right? Did he?
Wilder, yeah, but that's a little different. Wilder had the punch, and he went to the Olympics. So he went to the Olympics and got a bronze medal. I mean, you're fighting high level competition there, but there's always that equalizer. You have that right hand that can end the fight real quickly.
You know what? I've never, maybe I saw it once, but I didn't really remember Wilder in the Olympics.
No, I didn't remember him either. You know what I remember Wilder about getting knocked out? I remember him getting knocked out in either the Olympics or the Olympic trials. I remember him getting knocked out.
Okay.
I think David Hay knocked him out in a sparring session. David Hay. I remember getting knocked out in a sparring session.
Yes.
Who's this Wilder?
Was that
guy?
when Hay was trying to fight?
He was trying to fight the big guy, the Valuev, the big Russian guy.
Okay.
He wanted to fight him. Remember
the
chicken dance?
7'1", whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, the guy who Holyfield beat and they didn't give it to him. Holyfield beat that guy.
He had hair on his back.
Yeah. So that was he was the best I've seen.
Okay.
I mean, and as far as skill wise and everything, Roy Jones would probably be one of them. Unbelievably skilled.
They robbed him,
but his skills transferred into the pros very well.
Yep.
Mark Williams was more of a touch point fighter. He was like bang bang. He was so big at 6'1" or 6'2", and he was 140 pounds, 139, 140. Got to welterweight, I believe, 47. Then he started moving up.
Now, did he ever win? How many times did he win nationals?
Nationals? Oh my God, I would imagine he won it a bunch.
Okay. Because to be honest with you, I mean, the New York Golden Gloves, they're not the Golden Gloves anymore. I know, but that was like premier.
That was the one.
Yeah, so I mean, would I rather win nationals or New York Golden Gloves? I mean, geez, I don't know.
Mark Breland won. Well, he won the Golden Gloves. The first fight, he was the first fighter to win the nationals. He was the first person. He won the national title twice.
Okay.
The first fighter to win the Golden Gloves, New York Golden Gloves, 5 times.
Wow.
He won an Olympic gold medal as a lightweight at 139, 132.
Okay.
Holy crap.
A lot of people don't really know.
Well, Mark Breland only lost to Jorge Vaca, Aaron Davis, which I remember, Superman Davis. I was on ABC, and Marlon Starling. That's it.
But he doesn't get enough credit, I don't think.
Mark Breland was very good.
I mean, his
style just didn't translate. His style didn't translate to a professional style. That's
but problem. I think the amateur boxing world needs to give him his flowers for everything he did.
Well, they do. He gets his free passbook.
Okay.
Don't have to pay anymore.
All right, what, 130? 130?
I think it's 145.
Oh, so
there's a lot of stuff going on in the amateur boxing. That's something I want to get into at some point.
Okay.
I'll tell you off the air, and then I'll tell you what's going on.
I mean, didn't you reach out to a couple of them over there in Colorado to talk to them?
Yeah, but I'm not, dude. I'm not even talking about that.
Oh, okay.
I'm talking about local.
Okay.
Oof. What did I tell you?
Okay.
A lot of stuff going on. The amateur system is broken. They don't use the technology they should, which is why I want to get somehow involved in using the technology. I think I could promote, again, making the stories behind these fighters that make sense.
I mean, you got the platform.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't understand why they don't follow these guys. And everyone says, oh, well, they do their own social media. They might, but that's not going to get the casuals.
Yep.
The casuals are the ones who just happen to see it and say, oh, look at this guy who are, and they'll follow him because they want to see him.
Yep.
It's not, the system is broken. They haven't grown. They really haven't grown. They should be streaming all these fights. They should stream every single one of these fights and put it behind a pay window. And it doesn't have to be expensive. It could be $2, $3 a month.
They'll make their money in the long run.
They'll make their money back. Mm-hmm. And even with all this NIL and stuff, put the fighter on the back end of it. Say, hey, this was, whatever the percentage is, this is what the fight is.
Hey, you said something. The NIL for amateur boxers, huh?
Yeah.
Interesting.
The only thing with that is there's managers and again, it's not as easy as doing an NIL with someone in college, Ohio State, Penn State. It's not as easy. You're dealing with a lot of crap. And let me tell you something. These managers are rough to deal with. They're rough because they want it all in house. Which I don't blame them. That's their fighter. They're putting money in. I don't have a problem with that. But it's a lot different than just doing a Penn State, Ohio State, and whatever, you're not getting the same. You're not getting nothing. Not getting the same result. You're not getting the same responses that you would. As let's say, they won't be as professional.
Yeah.
Put it that way.
Yep.
So
They might hold you hostage in the back.
in the back for $450.
Yeah.
You know. That was a story.
Yeah.
Story.
That's a memorable one.
Oh, that'd be a memorable one. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. That'd be a good one. What else you got there for?
No, I know next week is UFC 300.
And as much as I thought it wasn't a good card, it's stacked.
Top to bottom.
It's stacked.
Yep.
Top to bottom. I will still say my Max Holloway versus Justin Gaethje is the fight that I want to see.
Oh yeah.
I'm a little nervous about that.
Now let me. Is it because of Max Holloway?
Yeah.
Okay.
A little nervous about that. I think Max coming up a little bit.
I think he's going to get slept.
I think he might get knocked out.
Yep.
As much as I think he's a good fighter and I think he's a good boxer, I think Justin Gaethje is going to start with the leg kicks.
Yep.
And then eventually get him out of there. I don't know how much punches in this punch card he has left.
No.
Max Holloway.
He's been in some wars.
I saw the interview with Kevin Iole he had on Kevin Iole.
Speaking of Kevin Iole, yeah, he had a nice little live on last week, huh?
He had a live on that we jumped on there.
Yeah.
Kevin Iole has been. I told Kevin if he went live consistently, you'd get more attraction because then they know you're going to be there at this time or whatever. And I think that's the way. Oh, Kevin Iole's shirt.
Oh, that's
that is the shirt. You get on his website at keviniole.com merchandise. He's got a bunch on there. If he goes live consistently, there's a lot of people because if we're in the chat room, ppv.com, and they were asking a lot of questions. The people they want it's just regular people. You'd be surprised. I mean, hell, somebody asked me a question. I have no clue. I am not even on any kind of level, and they're asking me a question. So if he gets live like that, it goes live like that time, he'll be fine.
Yeah, but
be good.
You think of getting Kevin Iole on for
this
UFC?
week? Yeah,
okay.
I know he's very busy.
Yeah, I was going to
very busy. The good thing is UFC 300 is in Vegas, so it's right down the street from him. So he can kind of go back and forth, and we're East Coast.
Yep.
So it could be 9:00 at night here, but it's 6:00 there when everything's done. So I can still come back and do it.
Yeah,
I'd like to get him on. The main event: Jamal Hill versus Alex Pereira. And you brought up a good point there with Kevin.
Yeah.
Is this the stepping stone for Alex Pereira to go to heavyweight?
I think so.
I think he's got to get past Jamal Hill.
I'm not
Now he's coming off a bad injury.
Mm-hmm.
That's a bad injury.
Yeah.
You're talking a long time, long recovery.
First fight back,
and that's a hell of a guy to draw on your first guy back.
And I think he's gonna go in there swinging.
And he's more comfortable, I think, Alex Pereira right now at light heavyweight. But hey, give him credit for coming back and taking this fight, Jamal Hill, because he didn't have to take this fight. I don't think.
No.
Where does that leave Conor McGregor? I mean, I don't. There's rumors of him coming back
in June.
In June.
Yeah.
But is he gonna fight?
One fight,
and is he gonna fight Chandler?
I think so. One fight, and that's it. Because Kevin Iole said that was the main event they were talking about. For 300 for 300.
But they wouldn't have panned out.
It's because he was doing the Roadhouse
tour,
and they had to do a tour.
Yeah.
And you know what? I was like, why would Amazon Prime really like hold McGregor down to the fire to do the tour? The press review. They paid him a lot of money. I mean,
now that went straight to Amazon Prime, right?
Well, that's what they're doing now.
Yeah,
they're going straight streaming, and that's Amazon Prime paid him. So
yeah, why would he fight?
Yep,
he's doing that. You're going right to that. Yeah, so maybe just one more.
Millions and millions of dollars for that.
I'm curious to see what he got paid there. It's a publicly traded company, so they would probably have what he has on there. How much did Conor?
I'm going to say 13 million.
McGregor.
Still a lot. No. I'm going to say 23.
McGregor make for
the movie
Roadhouse.
I don't think they're going to have
what
it
do you
on.
think?
They have it on?
What do you think?
They have it?
Yeah.
I said 25.
This is minimum base.
25.
5.5.
Okay.
So maybe get some stuff on the back end, which I don't. I mean, how are you going to get a back end?
Still
stuff. 5.5 to not fight and get your face kicked in.
Yep.
Yeah, I would do it.
And
too.
allegedly be on some stuff,
Make yourself healthy.
Yep.
You're good. Yeah, I think I think that's going to be his foray out. But you know what? Speaking of which I saw, and this is a little off topic, but The Rock coming back, that's not bad. It's kind of.
I was gonna tell you that. I was gonna say
pretty cool stuff to get The Rock back in there. Maybe that's what The Rock's doing now where he went to the movies. Now he's getting back into wrestling. He had a lot of backlash for some of the stuff that had happened, so he's back into WWE. And I think they're turning the corner a little bit with some of the stuff that they're doing, a little more on edge stuff, and that's good.
Yeah,
I think it's good. Remember wrestling used to the WrestleMania was like a one day. It was a Sunday at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and then it changed, which I didn't like.
They changed from it. Saturday was the Hall of Fame, and then it was Sunday.
And now it's a whole weekend.
That's
Friday,
very
Sunday.
smart, though.
Smart, big time money. You know, they should have it next year right around the same time, and have UFC do UFC like the week before, and then do WrestleMania, and then really all keeping the people down there in Vegas.
So that's what I think. I think WWE like went to Rock, was like, look, we need you.
Yeah,
because everything was going on.
Star power, you know. And
that's what I was going to say when you were talking about Devin Haney, and take a look at the tickets. When they went to Brooklyn a couple weeks ago, they had the most, what was it, sold out record for sold out in the house. That's crazy.
Well, I don't think that's going to transfer though, because I think they're going to lose a lot of walk-ups because people. No, I take that back. Because the fight's happening, I think they'll get more walk-ups, but the prices.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm seeing some of these prices on food and everything else. Dude, I don't know how these people are affording this.
$13.50 for a drink.
But I saw just past yesterday, California, $20 an hour for fast food workers, except Panera Bread.
What's Panera Bread?
So it's a bakery.
Okay.
But yet he donated $5 million to someone's
didn't I hear? I don't know.
Campaign.
Did I hear something like they're trying to go for $50 an hour?
50. Some lunatic out there. Look, this is exactly what's going to happen.
You're going to get 2 hours of work a week.
Yeah, but no, you won't even do that. It's exactly what's going to happen. Okay. So the problem with this, and I know this is off topic, guys. Yeah. The problem with this is, and I own a business. Okay. So,
well, it's bagels. So bagel boxing and bagels. So somehow
similar. But what happens is everyone thinks that you get a raise. You don't. Because if the price goes up for me to pay you, where do you think I'm going to get the money from? We get it from the customer.
Yeah.
Now the customer is going to come in, and all of a sudden their rent has just gone up. So now your rent's going to go up because it all trickles down. That is why there shouldn't be a minimum wage. I think you should get paid what you're worth. Okay. I think everyone should get paid what they're worth.
Okay.
But minimum wage jobs are not meant for a guy with 2 kids and a wife.
No.
They're not. They're for the high school. And I like it when it's high school kid coming in or retired. I have 2 girls here who are closing in, in their 48 and 50. So they got their family already out of the house and everything. And so, hey, what do I want to do? I want to go work at the bagel shop or do something. That's great.
Yep.
They're great people. They work here. They even do overtime.
Oh, yeah.
So that's what those jobs are for. So they don't get the extra, and they don't need 50 hours a week. They don't need that. Those jobs aren't going to be there anymore. And they're going to go to AI. Exactly what they did in Seattle, where they pushed for 15. Because remember, it was pushed for 15.
For McDonald's,
now it's pushed
right?
for 20. No, that was McDonald's.
Okay.
Now it's pushed for 20. They got the 20. Next is going to be pushed for 30. Then it's going to be you don't think AI is going to Johnny Rockets, I think, or somebody is already doing automated milkshakes and it's going to be all automated.
It's coming soon.
It's coming soon. And they're going to take everyone. So it hurts the employee.
Yeah.
Doing that hurts them. If you don't want to work there, don't work there. Exactly. Don't work there. Go somewhere else. I'm all for everyone don't take this as I don't want people. I want them to make as much money as they can. But this country has turned so far to entitlement, whereas I should be worth this much. You should be paid what you're worth. I agree. Yep. It's why I do have a thing with Dana White. But Dana White will pay the people who he feels are worth it. If you bring money to the table, he's going to pay.
He's not shy.
He's not shy to pay you.
No.
Gave Daniel Cormier $1 million, $1 million check which he was not contractually obligated to do, and he paid him. So I think Dana White is very generous. I think he's very generous when you bring value to him.
And perfect example was that Cain Velasquez. He paid for
Cain Velasquez.
Yes,
yeah, Cain, come on, man. Like, this is a guy who brought him a lot of money,
and he took care of him.
So I don't want to hear the nonsense of. I think that I don't think they should be paid to show and win. I think it should be one purse. So if the purse is 7 and 7, just make it 14.
Yep.
That's the only thing I think, because I think they're going to try to fight anyway. But the one happened with that guy who said with the gambling, but that's their fault for allowing gambling in that anyway.
Yes.
The gambling in sports is
but that
out
only
of
happened
control.
once, and they
Yeah, but that's out of control.
Yeah.
Gambling in sports is out of control. There's gonna come a time where you're gonna have a tablet on your seat and be able to do it in game. I'm telling you, that's coming. It's gonna be that's gonna start in Vegas with that thing. That is, man.
But going back to what you were saying, everything goes up. Perfect example was Mom. Remember, she's like, "Oh, I got this extra increase."
Yeah,
but what went up?
Your Medicare went up, and your insurance went up.
So it was a wash.
So really, what was it? A wash? $12. You netted $12, and at $12, you can get a number 4 meal at McDonald's. Like for $12.
How do you know?
I heard.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I heard. But you can't really get much. So I get it, guys. I get it, and why we got on this topic, I have no idea why, but I get it. But everything's going up. Oh, we got it because of the Devin Haney tickets.
Yeah,
those ticket prices. I don't know how sustainable these ticket prices. And they're talking $79 for the fight.
That's ridiculous.
For pay-per-view.
Now, is that high definition or no?
It doesn't matter. Everything's high def now. So what's the difference?
True.
Look, if you're watching a fight, what's the difference between high def and not? Don't tell me there's a difference. Barely any difference. You never see anything like
I don't know.
I mean, come on. I mean, but then again, look at the stuff like YouTube TV.
Yep.
It's $74 and I get everything.
That's how much it is.
$74 a month, but I get everything. I get the locals and everything because Michelle likes the Flyers. So, we get the local stuff. Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know how many more tickets they're going to sell there for that. That is a high price ticket item. And unfortunately, I
don't think it should have been in Brooklyn.
I thought it should have been Vegas too, but they don't want to do that because they said they thought it would affect Canelo.
That's.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
I know.
But Vegas should have all the fights.
Yeah.
So all the big fights. Yeah, you could do a couple in Brooklyn. Do a one in Brooklyn.
But it has to be from the East Coast.
That's what I was going to say. Like maybe Tank versus Tevin Farmer.
That would have been.
Do it in Brooklyn.
Oof, that would be good.
Do that in Brooklyn. Something like that. That would be a good fight in Brooklyn.
Yep.
Stuff like that, yeah. But not, man.
Two West Coast people.
Like that. I don't like it. But it's going to sell either way, but how much it could have sold before, could have sold a lot bigger. But I'll tell you what will be the next big seller, because after Garcia gets washed, it's going to be Garcia and Rolly. That would be a great fight. Loser leave town match.
On roller skates. But
I'm saying, like, that would be a good fight for these two. Would be a great.
I think Garcia wins that.
I think he might.
Mm-hmm.
I think Rolly's about done. I think he's probably the one who had a belt with the least amount of talent, and that's no knock on him.
No,
that's not a knock on
credit,
him.
Man. He just goes.
It's not a knock on him because he had very limited amateur experience, if any. He was picked up the sport at 17 years old, and he fought for 2 world titles and won one. Kind of given to him, but either way, you got to give the guy credit. But he was the least talented of the bunch of the four kings, least talented. And I didn't say he was a four king. I meant that whole quartet of people. Least talented, but had the balls, and he would fight anybody. And he could market. So with those two, and I think Garcia is a notch above him, but not too much above him. I think he's there neck and neck. That would be a good fight.
I think what pushes him over is his amateur background.
Garcia,
yeah.
I think Garcia would beat him.
Mm-hmm.
But I also think Rolly's punch card is getting filled. If you heard him after the fight, which I thought was wrong for them to interview him after the fight.
That's something they should never interview somebody
when
knocked out.
Knocked out. He did not know where he was. He was talking about he's risen, Easter, all this other stuff. You might as well put bunny ears on him because he didn't know what was going on. That was not good. That's not good that's not a good look for Amazon.
No.
You do not interview a guy who's just been knocked out. Listen, the other day when I was sparring, I forgot how to go home.
Oh, you need a navigation system.
I didn't have GPS to plug my phone in. I didn't know where I was going. So imagine getting hit by Isak Cruz with 8-ounce gloves. Jeez. I mean, what the hell? Give the guy a break. And then you interview him. He had no clue what he was talking about. Not a clue. That was definitely not the right call there. But
yeah, but I mean, you got them two coming in, and then we'll go from there for next week.
Yeah, I'll try to get everybody online on this week.
We'll do our picks.
a little later in the week.
Yeah.
I like to see when it's closer to
Yep.
see if there's anything going on. You never know what could happen also with if someone
Also, I
drops
want
out.
to see how they look when with the weight cut. I don't-
Yeah. Hey, Kayla Harrison has a long way to go. Have you heard if she's close?
I have not heard. Did Kevin hear?
What's that?
Did Kevin hear? Kevin,
I
Iole.
don't know. I'm sure he'll find out this week. He'll say
I haven't seen a lot of her.
I haven't seen a lot of her either. So I'm wondering if she's get down to that weight. That's a big cut.
Mm-hmm.
But she was big.
Oh yeah, she was.
She was
big.
really big. So that's going to be a tough weight cut for her. And if Holly Holm loses this one, I think that'll be it. You can't lose all those in a row.
Yep.
You can't. That is definitely a bad.
Did you happen to see? I think there's a spinoff of the TUF.
Tough
Yeah.
Contender Series.
Yeah, with like Woodley and who's the other guy? Ooh, it's on like some no-name type of
No name.
it's like a no-name type of promotion.
Okay.
But it's just
You know what? I did hear that.
I just
did
don't
hear
know who it was. It was someone that was actually an ex-UFC fighter.
Let's
I
see.
don't know. Tyrone Woodley.
What's it? New
The coaches or
series.
something.
It is called.
I forgot. Oh, just popped in my head when we talked about it.
Tyron Woodley
Oh,
and Luke Rockhold.
Yes, that's
it's
it.
Luke Rockhold. It's called Hardcore FC.
Yep.
Ultimate Fighter style reality series.
Mm-hmm.
Luke Rockhold was always good in a good knockout.
Yeah.
He was always good for a good knockout. I didn't see it, but nobody is ever going to compete with UFC.
No.
They don't have the marketing. They don't have they don't promote good.
It's funny too.
They don't have that face.
Everybody's like, oh, instead of MMA, hey, the UFC. I fight UFC.
Yeah, no. No, you don't.
No, you fight MMA.
Fight MMA. Everyone. Oh, UFC. It's the premier thing.
Yeah,
It's like everyone. Oh, you do that WWF stuff? Yeah. No. What's the only one? Only game in town.
Yeah.
Kind of monopoly. But let's wrap this up
All
now.
right.
A quick one here today. We're
Yep.
running a little bit behind today because I was a little tired. So, but Coach Diz, next week, are you in town at all?
I don't know. Am I making an appearance? All depends.
All depends. Coach Diz will be here. I will be here all week. I'm going to try to do some updates daily if I can. I got a couple of the amateurs coming on. I got Jenny and I got Aubrey coming on.
Are they going to be in studio or no?
I'm going to bring them in studio. It's
Okay,
a lot
cool.
easier,
Yep.
So Coach Rich will be on with them. So will Leo.
Would you ever do a show at the gym?
No, because you're going to bring all this shit.
Okay.
I could bring the Roadcaster and this, but then I won't have this to look on to adjust stuff.
Okay.
You can, but you don't have the cameras. The lighting sucks. It's just not. It's not the best.
Okay.
So I'll try. Maybe I don't know. I'd like to do a show at the event.
Yes.
It's just so complicated to do. But it would be good. It'd be good. You'd have a live event there. Nothing better than having a live event with afterwards you have interviews and whatever. It's a great show.
It is.
Great thing to do. But other than that, April 27, 2024, Repeat of Revenge. Tickets on sale now. I'll be getting back into the ring, taking on Sean McFadden. We also got Jenny Boberick. She's taking on Mackenzie Mazer. And Aubrey Scavone taking on Ashley Miller as the two featured bouts on the card. Ton of people on our action-packed card, loaded top to bottom. Also, guys, visit ringside.com/podcast. Get 40% off of your selected brands. But other than that, Coach Diz,
Yeah, nothing else.
I will see you next week.
All right.
Guys, I'll see you all next week through the day. Remember, don't be envious of what I've accomplished in my life. Be inspired by what you can do in yours. We will see you next week.
Thanks for watching the Zapata Brand Podcast. Please subscribe to the podcast and listen where all podcasts are available.